On this episode of Car News Rundown, the Dodge Charger Daytona is almost here. Nissan pushes a new Frontier, Japanese giants team up, and Rivian's future gets clearer. Topping this week's rundown, it's a historic partnership between some of Japan's largest automakers. Honda, Nissan, and Mitsubishi have announced their plan to work together developing technology for what they call the next generation of software-defined vehicles, or SDVs. The partnership was encouraged by the Japanese government as a move to strengthen its automotive industry against competition from China, particularly with EVs. While the announcement does not yet guarantee that any future products will be jointly developed, it does say the companies agreed to consider sharing development of such things as battery technology, e-axles, and software issues like autonomous driving, AI, and connectivity. Nissan, an early adopter of EVs with the Leaf, and Honda, whose EVs largely rely on General Motors technology and assembly, are both seen as having fallen behind in the electric car market, but it may be years before we see any fruit from this partnership on the roads. $59,595. That's the starting price of Dodge's new 2024 Charger Daytona. More specifically, the R2T trim. The Scat Pack version of the Daytona will come in at $73,190. Since they're the first fully electric vehicles from Dodge, both models qualify for the federal government's full $7,500 tax credit when leased. For those unfamiliar with Dodge's new EV muscle car, the Charger Daytona RT gets a 400-volt dual-motor powertrain, giving it all-wheel drive and 496 horsepower with 404 pound-feet of torque. Interior features include a standard 12.3-inch Uconnect 5 touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, Alpine audio system, and the usual suite of autonomous safety aids. Dodge says the Scat Pack is the world's quickest and most powerful muscle car. That's thanks to a tire-melting 670 horsepower and 627 pound-feet of torque. The company says to expect a 0 to 60 time of around 3.3 seconds and a quarter-mile time of around 11.5 seconds. The car also gets customizable drive modes with options like donut mode, drift mode, line lock, and launch control. Initial builds of the Scat Pack come with a special track package for 2024 that includes 6-piston Brembo brakes up front, 20-inch wheels, and dual-valve adaptive damping suspension, among other goodies. The all-electric two-door coupe variants arrive in the fourth quarter of 2024, while the four-door versions and gas-powered versions are expected later next year. It's only been on sale since the 2022 model year, but Nissan is trying hard to keep its Frontier pickup competitive with this facelifted 2025 model. And they have good reason to update the truck, as GM, Ford, and Toyota have all rolled out new versions of their midsize trucks. This once sleepy segment is heating up. Most of the Frontier's changes aim at fixing known weaknesses. There's a bigger 12.3-inch touchscreen available, now with wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. There's finally a standard tilt and telescoping steering wheel, standard sliding rear window, and available power lumbar on the driver's seat, among other small trim-level tweaks. Outside, there's a blockier front grille with Nissan's retro 3-slot design like the old hardbody pickups, revised front bumpers, new wheels and tailgate trim for the Pro X and Pro 4X, and this retina-scorching afterburn orange paint. Towing capacity has increased around 500 pounds across the lineup, maxing out at 7,150 pounds. Those looking to haul more now have the option of selecting the 6-foot bed with the crew cab in more trim levels than before. Nissan has also made most of its driver assistance features standard across the line. The 2025 Frontier hits dealer lots later this summer, with pricing announced soon. Rivian CEO RJ Scaringe continues to make the podcast rounds, dropping bits of new info on plans for the future of the EV, SUV, and truck maker. This time he spilled the beans to MotorTrend's The Inevitable podcast, telling the guys over there some new details about the upcoming R2 and R3 SUVs. First off, the new models will get the software and electrical control systems of the updated R1. That should save costs and bring down complexity. But perhaps the biggest news is what MotorTrend is calling a semi-confirmation of a pickup version of the R2 or R3. A smaller EV pickup sounds like something we'd love to get our hands on. Also on deck could be performance versions of the R2 or R1 in the same vein as the cool R3X. Here's hoping Rivian continues to get its costs under control and survives to launch all of these cool, more affordable options. This is Car News Rundown, your new source for automotive news, debuts, and analysis. Like and subscribe to get our latest updates. Thanks for watching.